Let's cross now to Islamabad. Shahzaib Wahlah is following events for us. Shahzaib, what does this government look like?
Well, the international community had demanded the Taliban to form an exclusive government in Afghanistan. But what we have been hearing from the Taliban leaders for the past weeks was that initially the government will only include members of the Taliban movement and specifically members of the Taliban Central Committee. The appointment of this government was long overdue, which shows us that that reaching a consensus within the group was not easy, and it took longer than expected. I'll just take you through some of the main appointments in this interim government. Mullah Muhammad Hassan Akhund will lead the new interim government in Afghanistan. He is presently the head of the Taliban's powerful decision-making body, Rehbari Shura, or Leadership Council. He belongs to Kandahar, the birthplace of the Taliban. He was among the founders of the armed movement. He has remained a close aide to Sheikh Habibullah Akhundzada, the spiritual leader of the Taliban for the past 20 years. Mullah Hassan has also worked on important positions during the previous government of the Taliban in Afghanistan. His deputy is going to be Mullah Baradar, again a founder of the Taliban movement. We have seen him a lot in Qatar since he was the central figure in the negotiation in Doha between the Taliban and the Americans. One other key name is Sirajuddin Haqqani, who has been appointed as the new interior minister. Sirajuddin Haqqani is actually the head of notorious Haqqani network that has carried out major attacks against the international forces in Afghanistan. He's still on the FBI most wanted list. Some of the other key figures of this interim government will be Mullah Yaqub, who has been appointed as the defense minister. Mullah Yaqub is the son of Mullah Umar, the former chief and founder of the Taliban. Zabihullah Mujahid has been appointed as the information minister, a man all journalists who have worked in Afghanistan know very well, since he has been in contact with the media for years, particularly through social networks. Well, most of the figures we are seeing in this government were part of Taliban's last regime, and there has been no member of other ethnic groups in Afghanistan, no one from the previous regime, or no one from the minorities as well.
Shahzaib, what reactions are there?
Well, we actually tried to reach out to women politicians from the previous regime in Kabul to get some reactions on the announcement of this new government. And we were able to talk to Fawzia Kufi, who has been one of the female members of the negotiation team between the ex-government that was negotiating with the Taliban in Doha for the past years. And her reaction was short but powerful. She said that, what can I say? It's a government of mullahs. Then we contacted Shukriya Barakzai a few minutes ago. She was the former ambassador of Afghanistan in Europe, she fled Kabul 2 weeks ago. She said that the chapter of diplomacy and respect for human rights is closed in New Afghanistan. She continued saying that the Taliban have proven that they have not changed. The absence of women speaks louder than anything, and the non-inclusion of other ethnicities and minorities says a lot about who the Taliban are today. Shukriya Barakzai spoke of the Afghan people's feelings that they have been betrayed by the international community. She said that the Taliban have come back with more power, with more weapons, with more equipment, and then that they have arrived after 20 years of freedom, while in the 90s, when the Taliban came to power for the first time, the country was emerging from a civil war. In short, the announcement of this government is a great disappointment for the Afghan civil society, especially the women.